All right, we are back. I'm here with Richard Southern.
Hi, Shauna.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
As always.
Yes.
Okay, we'll get into it. Business.
Yep.
Zellers made a comeback just a few months ago, and more stores on the way.
Have you gone and seen the Zellers stores?
Haven't seen the new stores. No.
Do you have nostalgia for Zellers?
I do. I furnished my first apartment in Chatham, Ontario with Zellers furniture. It was all I could afford at the time.
Gotta
It
love
served
it.
me well. I lugged that stuff to Toronto and had it for about 10 years.
Shauna, getting the Club Z points. Zellers made this big comeback this year, as we know, Shauna. 25 stores opening up inside existing Hudson's Bay locations. A lot of fanfare with that. And today, Hudson's Bay says you're going to see more Zellers locations. They're going to open an additional 21 so-called pop-up Zellers stores in August. To try and determine, they say, where they work and where they don't work. What is unclear, though, is if we're ever going to see a standalone Zellers store like you used to go to in the past, Shauna, although the company maybe did drop a hint on that front, saying today that larger footprint stores in some of the same locations may be a reality down the line. Not everybody was happy with the Zellers stores, Shauna. Some shoppers commented online about higher prices than they were used to, not a great selection, but clearly they must be working if they're expanding the number of them.
Yeah, and pop-ups are all the rage, right?
Yeah.
Those smaller versions of the stores. But yeah, I mean, everything's expensive. I mean, what do you expect?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, it's the same all over. Okay, so workers for a big-time delivery company may be going on strike. What's up with that?
UPS in the United States, workers may go on strike. That's a big deal. Something that could reverberate to Canada, too, because these guys deliver a lot of stuff. They're critical to the supply chain, Shauna. They last had a contract in 2018 when they were delivering a lot less because online shopping's really exploded since then. So a big strike in the United States by UPS workers could bring the global supply chain to a standstill. They say they deliver 24 million packages, UPS does, on an average day in the United States. They're going to be watching that one closely.
Okay, good stuff. And finally, Richard, it looks like AM radio has been saved.
Thank goodness. Shauna, I first met Shauna, 16 years ago when we were doing AM radio.
That's where we started. That's what brought us here today.
Some of us still do AM
That's
radio.
right.
And you know what? City News 680, shameless plug, still very successful. However, in the United States, Ford was getting rid of AM radio from some of its cars, claiming that less than 5% of drivers listen to it. I find that hard to believe.
I find it hard to believe. Think of things like the blackout, the big blackout.
Yes.
Everyone sat in their cars and listened to radio. We need radio.
Ford is bringing back AM to its cars after the United States government was set to force them to do so. There was a bill in Washington that would have forced them to bring it back, citing emergency alerts, which of course get transmitted on AM radio. So yay, good for the likes of us who are trying to make a living on AM radio, Shauna.